All right, guys, so we made it a little over 1 year full-time RV living. We're going to share the ups and downs of our first year full-time. Is this really cheaper? And share our biggest regret of starting full-time RV living in the first year. So stick around, check it out. If you're new to the channel, I'm Chris, this is Kim, and we got three furry little rascals. We've been living in an RV full-time for a little over a year. Just a quick sum up of how this got started. We figured when she retired, and I was going to retire at the same time, and we were going to get a fifth wheel, a travel trailer, and just do some traveling full-time, which her, retirement's just right around the corner for her. I was so frustrated with my job, with the corporation, not the job itself, or not the people I worked with, but the corporation was just, it was agonizing going to work every day. It was like sucking my soul. So I decided to retire early, and we decided, well, let's give this RV thing a shot so we know if we're going to even like it or not. So we decided to go full-time in the RV. We left our sticks and bricks, and we just moved straight in. We jumped in with both feet. We never spent a night in an RV before, ever. And we watched a lot of videos, and we tried to get as much information as we could from YouTube University and all that stuff. Got our RV, which we'll share a little bit more. We've actually documented all of our shenanigans from the first time we bought it till all the way up till now. So if you're interested in all that mess, you can always go back and look at our videos and stuff, but we're just going to give you a little sum up. Just like you probably, if you've watched other RV channels and stuff, RVs have their problems, and our first year was no exception. Even though we weren't moving around a lot, we still moved a couple times, several times, and we still have issues, and not so much like on the road moving issues, but stationary issues too. Like our first thing was we had a leaky black tank valve. That said, it when I opened that black tank valve and no liquid came out, I almost went into panic mode. And that's one thing I learned about RVing full time is don't panic. Take a deep breath. There's usually a solution for it. And that was one of our early videos too, was we found the black tank flush thing, and we got all the pyramid out, and eventually we replaced the black tank valve, and I recorded a video about how to do that. Almost all these things that I'm talking about, we have a video on, so you can go back and check it out. Anyway, so we replaced the black tank valve, and then eventually we moved again, and we had one of our slide mechanisms break. I was having to push one side in and then push it back in, and that was a whole ordeal, working with Lippert to get the parts that we needed for it. And we finally did, and we fixed the slide out so it goes in and out. And none of these things have been really difficult to fix. And then we moved to another spot. One thing we learned about these roofs is the membrane on the top of these things are pretty thin and are pretty fragile. And we just had a branch brushed by it, and we didn't even we saw the branch brushed by it, but we didn't think anything of it, and we didn't really check it out that much at first. But then we had some heavy rain for a couple of days, and Kim started noticing a leak in the bedroom. And so I went up there while it was raining, and we found that there was a big tear along the side, and water's just been pouring in there. So we found a solution for that, and we taped that up, and it's been fine ever since. But those are most of our big things. Am I forgetting anything?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we haven't had too many other we had a leak in the shower that was dripping underneath the shower. We had to fix that. It was just it got a little wet in the basement. We found it pretty quick because you're in and out of the basement all the time, either getting stuff or dumping the black tank or whatever. So we found that pretty quick, and we found a fix for that. I made a video on that.
But we have those water sensors. That's what alerted, right?
No, we didn't have them yet. That's what made us go get them. Then we got the water sensors. I'll leave a picture right up here. But now we have water sensors under the sink, in the basement, just about anywhere where there's water, so that if there was a leak, we'll know. And that actually happened one more time. We accidentally, we had a little leak because I let the gray tank get too full one time, and it was starting to back up, and it started leaking out of one of the fittings, and it started going off, and I'm like, what's going on? And we knew exactly where it was because we had the water sensor, and we have them labeled in our app to tell us which sensor and which spot is going off. But we've had those issues, and then we have had some issues where like the power has gone out several times, and we knew that eventually we're going to try to do some boondocking. So that's when we started our solar build. Actually, before we moved in, we installed an inverter and one single battery to run our refrigerator when we're moving from place to place. We couldn't run one AC if we installed a soft start. So we installed a soft start in the first AC, and if you're not sure what a soft start is a device that you attach to your air conditioning unit so that it lowers the amperage startup for your compressor so it doesn't overpower a generator or an inverter. And we have an old video on installing that too. And then we decided, well, might as well do the second one in case we wanted to use one or the other. We started moving around and we found out that electrical in these places has been very precarious. We've had we have 2 outlets that have gone out on us. We're at one place every time there was a thunderstorm, the power would go out. Sometimes it would go out for a couple seconds, sometimes it'd just go out for a couple minutes, but it would glitch on us a lot. And everything would reset and restart and stuff like that. So then we went with the Victron inverter and we installed that. And then we installed another one in parallel so we can power this whole thing with our dual Victron inverters. If we don't have shore power, our batteries take over automatically, air conditioning stay running. And just for example, just recently we went on vacation, 215 miles away. We left the AC running. We just turned it up a little bit while we're gone. I received an alert that we lost power, shore power here, and it was out for several hours. Apparently, our RV and this whole park was the only one with 2 ACs still running. Everybody else was without power or AC that whole time. And this is the middle of summer. So that's a good peace of mind to know that if power goes out, our system is still going to keep running, at least for a while, we own batteries. And then we decided we're going to have solar eventually for the boondocking, like I said, in our near future. And we wanted to make sure we build a system that we can pretty much, live like we are now to shore power. So we started out and we built 2,500 watts of solar on the roof, and we ran some tests and we made some videos about that. And we decided that wasn't enough. So we installed another 720 watts. So now we have 3,220 watts of solar power on the roof. And of course, if you know anything about solar, you don't get 3,000 watts all day long. It is a very fluctuating scale depending on, which way you're facing, the sunrise, shade, clouds. So it's all over the place. So we'll have another video coming out going over all that mess and explaining, in detail how much power we're actually getting out of this thing. And we're going to disconnect from shore power for several days and see what kind of numbers we're getting, and we'll share those with you guys. One of the big questions we see a lot is that people always want to know is living in an RV full-time cheaper than sticks and bricks? Well, for us in this situation, it's cheaper than we were living, but that can vary very dramatically. We bought this thing used, and we were actually looking at brand new ones, which were going to cost us, anywhere between 60 for this basic same model, between $60,000 and $70,000. And we purchased this used. It was only 3 years old for half the price. But we could go buy a brand new Brinkley, and it would definitely be paying more living full-time in an RV in a brand new Brinkley than we were where we were before. We had a 3,000 square foot 2-story house, and that was just a lot. And we kept downsizing smaller, and we liked the smaller living. Right? Yeah. Well, we're going to give this a shot. Maybe we'll just live in this full time. And that's when we started this process and we bought this thing. And Kim just found this one on Facebook. It just happened to come across. It has been hardly lived in. Most of the stuff has been pristine. Like I said, we've only had a few issues with it. The roof thing was my fault. I backed into the tree branch. I should have been a little more careful about that. Basically, the slide out, black tank valve, and a small leak in the shower. That's the only real issues we've had. Kim wants to replace the faucet, which will be a video coming out about that soon. But yeah, it can be a lot cheaper if you, buy used, or if you pay cash for an RV. Finding a full-time RV spot can have its challenges, and we'll give you this tip about finding a full-time RV spot. Especially in Florida, where a lot of people are looking for full-time spots here, and we have a lot of snowbirds that come out in the winter, so they fill up a lot of the spots, so it makes it tough. The best thing you can do if you're looking for a full-time RV spot and in a certain area is just be present. Go stop by these places and keep asking. Let them see your face. That's kind of how we find our RV spots. We talk to these people in person. You show up, just try to be present, check in with them every once in a while, say, hey, how's it going? Anything opening up anytime soon? And they know you're serious about it, and maybe they'll be more likely to give you a call before they give somebody that's been on the list that probably is not even interested anymore and found something somewhere else. And so you never know. Show a friendly face to them every once in a while, and hopefully they'll squeeze you in there. For all you guys that are new to RVing or thinking about getting RVing, I know a lot of the big thing is to join like these Facebook groups, try to find out more information about things, or if you do have an RV and you want to, something breaks or whatever, there's a couple of tips that I would highly recommend to help you out if you're going to ask questions on Facebook. Just like any one of these Facebook groups, there's a lot of people out there that are just going to, especially if it seems like it's a question that's common knowledge, they're going to give you like snide remarks and comments, or just either make fun of you because you didn't know the answer to it or whatever. But my first advice would be, if you join one of these groups, ask a very common question that everybody should know, or it might even be like a stupid question. Just put that out there, and then you're going to get all these yahoos that want to give you some, smart aleck remark or make fun of you. Just click on their name and click block, block, block. And then you can kind of filter out all those people who are unhelpful, and the people that are helpful, you'll still be able to see and get comments from, and hopefully that'll help you out. And if you're going to leave a question out there, and after you filtered out all the yahoos, if you're going to leave a question out there, my biggest thing is be detailed in your question. I see so many times where people are just so vague. We have no idea. I mean, the more information you can give people about the situation that you're in, like, give the make and model of your RV, what exactly are you having problems with, or if you don't know the name of something, try to look it up first. If you're not sure, say like, I'm not sure if I'm saying this right or whatever, but just do your best to put as much information, take as many pictures as you can, and share those. That'll help people out quite a bit, and try to be specific about what information you're looking for, because there's a lot of times where there's real vague questions and you're going to get a string of answers that may not have anything to do with what you're looking for. So hopefully that'll help you out if you're joining the Facebook groups and stuff like that. And that's a little bit of advice I have to give you. Take it or leave it. Hopefully it'll help you out. And here's a recent tip I can give you guys if you're thinking about doing full-time RV living. This is just a recent development. There's been several times we have lost water, like probably about 5 or 6 times in the last just few months. Like the water shut down. Either they've had to make repairs to the well, or just recently, somebody that was packing up to leave or whatever, instead of turning off the water at the faucet, he shut off one of the main valves and broke it. And so they had to shut off everything so they can fix it. And then, I don't know, it was within an hour later of them fixing it, the guy broke the same thing again. And we lost water twice in the same day. So there has been times where, like, I put on laundry in our washing machine, and we've got halfway through the cycle, and all of a sudden it starts dinging because we lost water pressure. We just recently came back from the beach, and we really wanted to take a shower, and we had no water. And that was kind of frustrating. So we're like, usually, sometimes they'll have it fixed within an hour or so. Sometimes it's been a couple hours, but we gave them about, like, I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. Yeah. And then I'm like, Kim, we got to do something. We don't know if they're going to get this thing fixed. We have 15 gallons of bottled water that we keep here for our drinking water and cooking and stuff like that, because we don't drink the water that comes from the RV site. I took 2 of those things. I put them in the freshwater tank with a funnel and just lifted up a carry. And then I had to run out 2 more times, add more water. And then we finally got about like 30 gallons in here. We said, okay, well, that's enough. We can take some quick army showers and, practice our first time boondocking. My advice is to have some, if you're going to live full time, leave some water. You don't have to fill up the whole thing or whatever. Just leave some water in your freshwater tank in case the water goes out and you have an issue. You will still have water to be able to wash your dishes and take a shower or whatever you need to until they get it fixed. All right, so I think we're going to finish this off with our number 1 regret is, I think, really that we didn't start this sooner. We're really enjoying living small. We've lived in like I said, a big house, moved to a smaller and smaller place until we got into this RV. And honestly, so far, we love it. It's easy for her to clean. That's one.
Yeah,
That's
my favorite part.
it's my favorite part. But so we just got our fur babies and life experiences that we're looking forward to. And that's the whole reason why we got this thing. And she's got retirement right around the corner. So we're gonna start traveling and keep sharing our adventures with you. Anything we do around here, we have our whole solar build that we've done. I've got full installs on everything. So step by step how we did every little thing. So if you're interested in that, you can go find our playlist. I have our Victron build, solar build down in a playlist down below. So if you're interested in any of that kind of stuff, subscribe if you're new. Please give this video a big thumbs up so we can share with more people and hopefully it'll help them out too. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here with us every week and leaving comments and sharing this experience with us. So hopefully we'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.